Good morning, everybody. It's me, Ash Piper. Today I'm just going to go over a couple of resources. So I know that it is very difficult right now with the housing situation and since the pandemic to find affordable housing and to find. I know that it's even hard to get into a shelter. Before I came to San Diego, I couldn't find anywhere to go, and I was having so many issues. And I'm sure that this is a lot of people with autistic kids are having issues if they don't own their own house. They're having issues with like roommates. They're having issues with neighbors if it's an apartment within walls, and you end up having conflict, and then before you know it, you're wrongfully evicted, or you end up just leaving because it's just too much. Too much fighting near the kids. So, here, or if you have a situation where you have a, abusive or even emotionally abusive partner, and you're realizing that it's not safe for you or the kids, or you're realizing that it is still affecting your child's autism, just the vibe of that person. And you need to end it. You don't have nowhere to go. Okay, so I'm gonna name some places that I know of that are really good and covered through Medi-Cal. So you don't need to have a penny to go to these places. You just need to have active Medi-Cal. So there is a place. There is a rescue mission in Los Angeles. Don't go to just anyone because there's a lot of them. There's one like on San Pedro, and that one's, don't go there. That's not really for families. The one you're going to want to go to is Angelus House. That's on Avalon Boulevard. I'm going to give you guys a number. It's 213-347-6300. 213-347-6300. That is a very good one. You all have your own room, your own restroom. They kind of look like apartment complexes. They pay for, they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They serve drinks, even, I'm talking like sodas or punch or teas and coffee. They have, beverages, and they have, and they have snacks like throughout the day. They also have a daycare. They have little events where they have like parties for every month. They have parties for the kids, and they do like balloons, and they do different little events for the children. They have like every month or something. They do you get to shop in their store, and it's like really like decent clothes. And on all the holidays, they give you a bunch of stuff for the holiday. Like Halloween, they give you Halloween costumes. For birthdays, they give you gifts. They're really nice. They're really good on top. They're really on top of that. They offer church services there. I think therapy. They have a case manager, and there you just save your money. Whatever money you do get, if there is any income, they have you save like half of it, and they don't charge you to be there. They just tell you to save some of your money. That's a very good one. There is a San Diego rescue mission, and I know that it has family, children, and kids. I tried to go there recently before coming here, and they said that we didn't meet the criteria. I don't know if they have an issue. I think it was because they didn't have any of your own space. I think you shared it with another person, and because me and my kids are all autistic, they said that we wouldn't be a good fit. I don't know much about the one in San Diego, let's just say. But you can have their number too. It's 619-687-3720. I've actually been at the one in LA County, though. It was really good on Avalon. So they also, so where I ended up coming, so for those of you who don't know my situation, I had a roommate that was discriminating against my son. He shoved both my kids in the ground. Yeah, my 2-year-old and my 10-year-old. And when I went around to try to stop him, because we were just knocking at the door to get into the house that we lived in, when I went to go around and go help my kids, he picked me up on my throat and my neck and threw me like 4 yards. I tried to sign a document that night to prosecute him, So I did that, and then I tried to go get a restraining order to get him kicked out of the house. When I showed up to court, they didn't approve the restraining order because they said that it was my word against his because my son's nonverbal. And then that same guy called child services on me and tried to report me to get me kicked out of the house, to scare me. When I told the social worker what really happened, she told me, well, just keep trying to push through with this court, the restraining order and the prosecution. But because it wasn't sticking, they told me I had to leave. They kept postponing the prosecution date. Social worker came and said, if you don't leave by tomorrow, we're going to take your kids away because this house is unsafe because of this man. So I was like, well, I didn't do anything. Can't you get him to leave? He's the one that put his hands on my children. Like, why isn't he not arrested? They said, well, we're not criminal law. We can't do nothing about that. So all we can do is tell you to leave with the kids. And I was like, this is crazy. So I called the police department, and there was multiple reports where he threatened to kill me, put his pit bulls on me and my kids. He was going in the breaker box with a screwdriver, all crazy in the middle of the night to turn the power off. He was crazy. This guy was insane. He was just really badly wanted to get us out of the house. So I ended up having to be forced to leave my house where I was living because it was unsafe. And when I tried to get into shelters, even disability shelters, they were saying that there was not enough space because my son has spitting behaviors, associated with his with the issues with the gut, and that I have seizures, and the children are diagnosed. Well, my son is diagnosed unresponsive, and those of you who have autistic kids, you know what that means, and so I had to keep looking, and I looked, and I had other people look, and I couldn't find anywhere safe that me and my kids can go to. And I knew that I can't have my special needs kids in the street. That's crazy. I ended up having a friend that told me, hey, you can go into this program that I know in San Diego, and they take women and children, and I'm like, is it a shelter? They're like, no, it's a treatment center. All you have to do is say that you drink currently, and then they will give you your own room, your own restroom, up to like 5 to 6 months. They told me something like that, and then you and they have a child clinician there that's gonna help you put the kids in school, get them their services. They have a daycare, a playground. They told me all the things that it offered that I wasn't getting anywhere else. And I thought that was, I was grateful for Kiva, that program Kiva, but I'm also very upset at the state. Why is there a billion treatment centers that are residential treatment centers for immediate, residential treatment when there's nothing for a single mother with autistic kids? It baffles me that the state is funding all these rehabs for people to go live in immediately, funding to feed them, funding for hygiene, funding all this stuff, and while autistic mothers are left with no support, and it's not fair. It's not fair for a single mother with autistic kids. A lot of times people don't realize the story behind autistic mothers. A lot of times the men leave. Yeah, a lot of times there is so many therapies. So a lot of times they have sleeping disorders. A lot of times, it costs more money out of pocket because of pull-ups and because of things gets more expensive. And not just that, sometimes they require 24/7 care, which means our hands are completely tied. We cannot work. We cannot work and leave. Who's going to watch a kid if they require 24/7 care? And daycares aren't equipped to handle. They send my son home all the time for no reason, from schools, from daycares. He requires one-on-one care, so nobody wants to watch him. Not even the state is not even funding it. So what is a person like me, or what is a person like anyone that has autistic kids that are going through this, what are they supposed to do? So I lied to go into that program. I felt I had no choice, but now I'm at the ECTLC. And that's a transitional living. It's good you can be here up until a year. And I'm just here temporarily while I get my Section 8. So I'll go more into Section 8 once in another video.